And I remember thinking to myself, God, I'm starting to make money. It was like years into my business. I was like, I'm financially free, but I want to know how I protected my team's focus time and got 50% more done. Managing projects shouldn't be handling paid. But between endless meetings, but I'm still trapped. What is holding me back? And I realized a lot of it was my money story and my money personality style that I needed to start working on. And I don't know if it's the thing that you ever like, I've arrived and I'm perfect and now I'm like the Zen master at money. It's a constant back to awareness. It's a constant practice of awareness and breaking through those limitations.
What I'm thinking about when I'm hearing you is, if me and you went back to a place in our life where we really didn't have money.
Yeah.
Yes, people. Thanks so much for joining live, guys. You're looking at Onestcosmetics TikTok live, people.
And in their head, they're thinking, but how do I become abundant when I don't have? Well, like my natural thing is like, I'm just struggling to pay my next bill. And me and you have both been in those situations. I remember when I was growing up, I grew up in a house where we had just enough. Like that was the language my parents used, just enough. And my parents would often argue about money. I remember I wasn't allowed to buy cool shoes and stuff. I'd have like the knockoff cheapest brand from whatever, which was, I actually didn't have an issue with that. I didn't have an issue with any of it because we had food and that was my normality. But it's really interesting because the amount of times growing up, I started working when I was 14. And I think
Everyone that joining, guys, you can order this product on TikTok on this app.
of how hard
If you do want to order, get it today.
because I started working at 14. I used to get paid £2 per street that I delivered newspapers on.
Wow.
So imagine there's 100 houses. It's going to take me like
Not for a house.
no
Per street.
per street. So I did 5 streets, and so I get 10.
Shout out to everyone that joining live, guys.
If I did 5 streets, and each street will take me at least an hour.
Wow.
Maybe I don't know, something like that. And so I'd walk around, I'd pull this thing, and I'd deliver it. And I got an understanding of how hard it was to make money. But then that became a story for me, going to your point.
Making money is hard.
Making money is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's only a certain amount of money you're allowed to make at this level. Like you're a 14-year-old.
Yes.
Then I worked in retail. I stacked shelves at a grocery store. I worked at a store called Morrison's, which is like working at Walmart. And there I remember I got paid like £5 an hour. And then you get like time and a half if you work the weekends and the evenings. All of this to say that I probably spent my whole life only seeing zero in my bank account because everything that would come in would pay for my phone bill, a car insurance that I paid for, whatever it was that I was taking care of. So I wasn't relying on my parents, apart from I lived in their home, obviously. But I always felt like money came in, money went out. And my story around money was people who have money are doing something bad. So I lived in a home. Whenever we went to a friend's home and they had a nice home, my family would always say, oh, yeah, but they do dodgy stuff to make money.
Yeah.
All the language around money was people with money are doing bad stuff. So in my head, it was like, oh, if you have money, then you must be doing shady stuff because we don't have money and we're not doing anything.
Right. You must be hurting people to make money.
Correct. In some way, exploiting.
Taking advantage of.
Yeah, taking advantage, whatever. So everything you're saying is so true. Because then when I got to a point in my life where I was just trying to do good, and I had something like 150, 200 million views on content.
And you had no money.
I was 4 months away from being broke.
I met you at this time.
I met you around this time.
I met you this time, yeah.
It was really interesting to me because that was the time that I was actually doing this work, which is why this book's so powerful, because I realized that I couldn't, even with 150, 200 million views, it wasn't that made money because my story and my personality style was anxious. I felt like it was wrong to make money. Like that's actually what it was. I felt like making money was bad. And so until I got to that.
Did you believe you were worthy of making more money?
I believed I was worthy, but I believed that you had to be bad to make money.
Wow. So you didn't want to be bad. You don't want to have a lot of money and associate, I have a lot of money and now I'm bad.
Correct.
I'm bad and wrong and I'm hurting others in order to help myself.
Correct, because good people are poor.
Wow.
Right? Like to be a good person of good character means to not have money.
Wow. And that was based on a belief system that you developed
over time.
Yeah.
That I didn't even know. Like if you would have told me about this 8 years ago, I'd have been like, I don't know, which is why I think these reflections are so important.
If you're stressed, if you're overwhelmed, if you're anxious, if you're constantly in drama, that is not abundance. A high net worth does not mean you are free. Money is an energy. And how we think and how we feel will dictate the energy we have towards it. When you have no money, when you're broke, when you feel stressed out, overwhelmed, burnt out, you lost your job, you feel like you need help. And you may need help. And the best way to create abundance is to go from helplessness to helpfulness.
So when you're in that place, taking your story as well, taking my story, how do we start to rewrite that story now that we're aware?
Well, it's so powerful that you said that. And I remember this vividly because I met you on Halloween 2017, right?
8 years ago, yeah.
And I said,
if you want to make a full-time income from home working part-time, you need to know this one concept because there is a new and better way to make money in UK real estate.
Phenomenal information.
You never put money down, you never get credit checked, and you don't need any prior experience or qualifications in order to start doing this on the side. In fact, you could run this from your kitchen on the evenings and weekends, or you could take your laptop and run it from a coffee shop like I do if you like, because you never visit any of these houses to flip them. And there's a simple formula. And to give an example of one of my students, Ed. Ed lives in Italy, Rome, and he flips houses for £3,000 to £5,000 per flip in the northeast of England. He never gets money down, and he never gets any loans, so he doesn't need any credit checks. All he uses is a laptop and an internet connection. And it's not just him. I've been teaching for a decade now, over the last 10 years, and here's some of my top students. We've rented mansions in Spain.
Said, like, cancel the day. Let's just hang out all day.
Yeah, you had a book coming out that
I had a book that came out that day.
Yeah.
On Halloween.
Yeah.
Which is called The Mask of Masculinity. Anyways, how do we rewire our brain around money to create more abundance?
When you have nothing.
When you have lack. How do we rewire our brain to create abundance when you have nothing and you don't know how to earn more money? The first thing I think you need to be aware of is that your beliefs dictate your behaviors. So if you believe that money is bad, or people who make a lot of money are bad and take advantage of others, and therefore me having lack right now, I'm not a good person, and I don't want to become a bad person, then that belief is going to dictate your behaviors, and you're going to stay in lack. You're going to stay in scarcity, and you're going to see opportunities that only give you just enough, as opposed to opportunities that could create incredible wealth for yourself financially, but also an emotional wealth that you've never had before. So that's one of the things you want to understand is first that your beliefs dictate your behaviors.
That's a big one, by the way. That's huge.
Yeah.
Like that, I just want to point that out for people. Like that's so huge.
Because your belief,
yeah, it's huge.
Your belief got you to a place of, I am impacting hundreds of millions of people from these videos that I created with my talents. But I don't know how to make money with them, and I don't know if I actually should because then I could be bad. I don't know if people could perceive me as I did something bad to make this money.
Correct.
And I'm a spiritual person, I'm a monk, I've done all these things. I don't want to have that life, but I want to make an impact and I don't want to be poor.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are struggling with that mindset.
What are the other ones you hear? What are the other, focusing on that belief spirit? What are you hearing from people about their belief? That's my belief.
Yeah.
And that's very much my history and story, as you said. What other stuff do you hear from people?
The biggest shift that will create abundance in your life is a mindset habit in unlocking wealth for yourself. And one of the big lies, one of the big blocks that holds people back from financial opportunity is that I cannot be generous with my time, my wisdom, my knowledge, or my secrets to others, because if I am, they will take it and run with it, and I will be left with nothing. So therefore, I'm going to hoard my energy, I'm going to hoard my time, my knowledge, and only keep it to me so that others don't have good ideas or have my help. And from all the different billionaires and millionaires and financial leaders in the world that I've interviewed, I know you've interviewed a lot of them, there is a question I would always ask individuals who've made incredible amounts of money, and that keeps helping them create more wealth year after year. And they all say the same thing. Those who have had a sustainably good heart in the process is that you have to have a generous mindset. So the mindset habit is the first thing that you have to think about when creating abundance with your money, but also feeling abundant internally. And it's coming with generosity. So if you feel like you're stuck right now, if you feel like you have nothing, this was what you were at 8 years ago when I met you, this was where I was at, 15 years ago when I was on my sister's couch. I had no money. I was in student loan debt, was sleeping on her couch. I didn't think I had any skills. I didn't have a college degree yet. I was like, how am I going to make money if I don't know how to make money and I don't have any talent or skill and I'm in debt? I didn't understand it. It felt impossible. And the thing that I shifted when I started meeting money mentors is I needed to learn the first habit, which is the mindset habit, which is a habit of generosity and gratitude.
So what did that look like then? What was the practical skill?
What it looks like was, how do I meet money people that have money, people who have success, people who can teach me knowledge? I needed to come with a sense of energy, of curiosity, of possibilities, and of joy. I literally wrote a list down of all these different things that I thought were my talents. I go, how can I make money? I don't have any skills. I played football and now I'm injured. What can I do for people? I was like, well, I'm really curious. Maybe I can just ask people questions. And never did I think in a million years that I could have a 12-year-old podcast just asking questions and make millions of dollars a year. I never thought that was possible. I was in my early 20s and I was like, you know what? I've got a lot of energy. I've got a lot of passion. So let me bring passion and energy to other people and excitement. And that energy was infectious.
Everyone, we're now doing a flash sale for £18, guys. Don't miss out the bargain price on the website. Get yourself now. Don't miss out, people.
May not look like money, but for those who are older, who have no more passion, they're burnt out, they're exhausted, it is the highest form of life. And they want that. They crave that energy. They've burned themselves out for decades. They want to feel young again. They want to feel curious again. They want to feel excited again. And when you come to someone with that energy, you are bringing a different mindset. So the mindset of curiosity, joy, passion, presence, like just connecting with someone and asking them a question is such a valuable thing. So we have to look into these untapped skills, talents, currencies inside of us. Hi guys, inside of us, they can create magic.
Yeah.
That's one of them. Another one is just being generous with your time, with your resources, with your ideas, and helping others succeed.
I love that.
Make her viable. Make it get big.
Yeah.
Make me money from
I
it. Make me
really
rich.
wanted to interview incredible people, but I didn't have a platform at the time when I met you. And so I partnered up with NASDAQ.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, just to be really clear with everyone, I didn't get paid to do this.
Yes.
So NASDAQ had someone using Facebook Live, and I said, hey, could I have an hour in the NASDAQ building whenever I have an amazing guest that says yes, so that I can interview them on NASDAQ Live, and they would put the picture up on the middle of Times Square.
On a billboard.
So now I could reach out to people I looked up to.
And that's the reason why I went on the show.
Exactly.
I didn't know who you were until I saw, hey, I can get you on a billboard on Times Square. I go, that's value to me right now.
I'm being generous and I'm trying to find a way because I don't have anything to offer.
Nothing to offer.
But I admire you. And it was all people I admired. It was yourself. It was Ryan Holiday said yes. You know, a bunch of other authors. Deepak Chopra came on that show with me. And it was all people that I admired, looked up to for a long time. And exactly that. That's how, first of all, we became great friends off of it. But the point is, it's exactly what you're saying, that even though I felt I had nothing to offer, I had to find a way to create something to offer someone of value. I didn't get paid for it, for that show. I didn't get paid to run it. I didn't make any money from it. But it created an opportunity for me to connect with friends, to connect with people that were doing incredible things.
Yes.
And of course, allowed me to showcase my talents so that then I could show it to other people. I remember I had Ryan Howard on the show, who founded Pure Wow, and he just sold it to Gary Vee. That's how I met Gary. So Ryan came on my show and he was just like, Jay, I love you. You're a great interviewer. Like, you have such great energy. He really liked my passion. And he said, you got to come meet Gary. And I was like, no way, like, I love Gary. So he took me to meet Gary for the first time. We had a meeting in his office, and that's how I built my relationship with him. It was all thanks to Ryan. And so when you think about it now, like when I've never thought about it until what you're saying. Now Ryan's been on the podcast like 4 times now, whatever. I love his books. So many relationships came out of that. And so I think when you live in a world of I have nothing to offer and I don't have anything, it becomes really hard to create.
And most people think when I have nothing, I need to take from someone else.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have anything, so I can't give anything if I don't have it. So I need someone to give me money right now because I'm broke, I'm poor, I'm stuck, I'm stressed, I'm anxious. I can't think out of
Everyone, you can get yourself the best hair oil on the market for £18 on this app. If you want to get this oil, guys, order on this website for £18. Get yourself now, is on a bargain price.
You didn't make money by having me on the show right away. But we became friends. I helped you, you helped me. Over time, we helped each other create more abundance together. Not only financially, which we've done together, but a type of richness that isn't about money. In this book, again, it's a money book. It's really like it doesn't matter how much money you have if you don't feel like you have a rich life inside of you.
That's real.
It does not matter how much is in your bank account, how big your net worth is. If you don't feel like you have an abundant life, if you're stressed, if you're overwhelmed, if you're anxious, if you're constantly in drama, that is not abundance. A high net worth does not mean you are free. And the goal is for us to feel free every moment of our lives as often as possible and allow money to be a tool to create incredible opportunities, memories, moments where you can be generous with it, with the people you care about, the causes you care about, the institutions you care about, to serve more people and feel good about doing it, not feel bad about doing it. And that's part of this process. Most people, when they lack money, they want to take from others. They want someone to help them. And you need to flip it on its head and say, how can I help others? Even when I have nothing, that is the time to be more generous and in more gratitude and say, thank you for this opportunity. Even if you have to just lie to yourself for a moment and say, I'm stuck. I'm on my sister's couch. I have no money. I'm 4 months. In 4 months, I'm going to be out of an apartment and I don't know where the money's coming. Just say, thank you, God. Thank you, universe, for this opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
This opportunity to grow.
Thank you, God.
I'll never be here again. I don't know if you've had Ken Honda on, but he wrote.
I know Happy Money,
Happy
but
Money.
I haven't had him on.
Dude, it's so cool. I love this approach to this. And he's talking similar style about how do you just live a rich life, irrelevant of whether you have money or not. And again, this is what I want people to get to. When you are poor, when you're broke, when you're struggling financially, it feels really hard to feel abundant and rich. And we want to start shifting our thoughts, our emotions, on our.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining Onestcosmetics Live, people. Anyone that needs hair oil for any piece of hair oil, then this is the oil for you, people.
It's not feeling worse about it. It's starting to feel better about me, better about my values, my character, my kindness, my generosity, and seeing how can I add value to others. And that's the first thing we need to be thinking about. How can I get into a richness inside of me to serve others and take care of me at the same time? And one of the practices